Can I invite Dr. Russell Strutt to close the conference? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Can I first of all thank Sussex Learning Network and the Centre for Work and Learning for an excellent morning. I've learned a lot. It's also been quite affirming. My job is to sum up the morning and also particularly talk about how East Sussex can support moving ahead into the future. Now, it's a bit about the enterprise partnership. I'm just going to talk about four things. First of all, the continued case for collaboration. The second thing, what I've heard about the vocational progression approaches put forward this morning. Thirdly, to add in a recommendation about threading enterprise education throughout everything we've been talking about. And finally, for me as a principal, I see the biggest barrier to all of this is convincing employers, and I'll just say a little bit about that at the end. In terms of collaboration, I had a chat with Stuart before he went. I thought he was very thoughtful this morning. And I like the fact about going back to the purposes of universities and colleges in terms of making a case for collaboration. And for me as a principal, I see our prime purpose as a college. We're embedded in our communities and in our businesses. Our job is to provide aspiration and to link our communities and businesses with learning and then link that to work and personal improvement. Now for me, the case for collaboration is a given because no one educational organisation can do that. So collaboration is absolutely essential to do that job for our communities and businesses. And I think collective endeavour is absolutely paramount. And I'd like to give you some really good examples of that. The AIM Hire initiative, wonderful collective endeavour, which actually made remarkable increases in first generation students going to university. That could not have been achieved by a single university or a single college in its own right. That collective endeavour has made a fantastic difference to families which have not had an experience of members of the family going to university before. Another example, raising participation. The colleges and universities work with local schools. Across Sussex, participation has increased by 5 to 7 percentage points during the past 5 years, which could not have been achieved without collaboration and collective endeavour. Now, Stuart said that we are in an environment where competition is being fostered, but as colleges we've been in that environment since 1992, so it's not new to us. I call it collaboration. and to actually use Stuart's point, I'm passionate about collaboration and dispassionate about competition. Dispassionate in his objective sense. So for me, colleges are quite used to working together to do joint curriculum planning for best benefit of local communities and businesses, but being grown up about the areas where we compete and having those difficult conversations. So for me, collaboration on everything we've heard this morning is absolutely essential, and I certainly, as chair of FE Sussex, can commit FE Sussex to continue the momentum. And I know there's a meeting this afternoon on this. All of the work we've heard this morning, I'm very happy to commit FE Sussex to continue with the momentum on developing the frameworks and models. Secondly, the vocational progression approaches we've heard this morning, absolutely excellent. I think they're innovative and creative. And I think what I heard about in the APAL session as well, if you bring in, I think we've heard some models this morning, and they're not the only ones. I think the apprenticeship session brought out the fact there's a very good model there of a large employer working on a well-known qualification, HNC engineering, and that works well. But there will be other models and other types of higher employability skill that we're developing, and so those models need to be developed. And well, I heard about APAL, also bringing that in particular for SMEs, and I'll say that a bit more later. The Sussex routes, from FE Sussex point of view, strongly support that, and the learning opportunity service is key. But I think there's more to do. I think potential students are well served. I don't think employers are well served in terms of advice, guidance, and convincing them of the benefit of all of this work. So I think fully support the progression approaches we've heard this morning and the learning opportunities service, but we need to broaden that out into other models and other frameworks, and I'd like FE Sussex to work on that in the future. It's in everyone's best interest. Third thing, enterprise education. I'm the Sussex Universities and Colleges representative on the Coast to Capital Local Enterprise Partnership, so I'm a rep on the rep. The LEP has two overarching aims. It doesn't interfere with what's going on in local social partnerships. Two overarching aims. One is to drive international export, the other is to drive enterprise education. If I can just focus on the enterprise education, I think there is a paramount need. We heard it come out from some of the questions earlier on. I think there's a paramount need to ensure we thread and wrap round enterprise education through the progression route, from level 3, from advanced level through to higher education. Now the three universities, though, are really good at this, actually. It's a challenge for the colleges. The colleges, as college, we've got to raise our game, and FE Sussex is quite committed to raising its game about developing enterprise education frameworks within Sussex. But I think the third point I'm making is I think enterprise education needs to be designed into these progression routes. Because the employment market has fallen out for young people. Starting new businesses, self-employment are key things for the future. And if we can build that into these progression aids as well, I think that's really important. Finally, for me, I've heard some great things about removing barriers for students this morning, both in the presentations and in the apprenticeship session with Alex as apprentice and Talis. Wonderful model of a large employer, and they've got their HR people so they can, excellent at supporting. But for me, it's SMEs. How can we work with SMEs and convince them that investing in advanced or higher apprenticeships is going to be beneficial to their business? And then how can we develop consortia approaches to enable them to support their students on that route? Because listening to a large employer this morning supporting, that's great, but think about an SME, how difficult it's going to be for them to support a student through that route. So I think there's a big piece of work to do actually on how we link with. I think all we've heard about information advice guidance, removing barriers for students, excellent this one, innovative, creative, well worked. There's a job to do, particularly with SMEs, about how we can convince them and then support them to support their employee stroke student through one of these progression routes. But I'd just like to sum up by saying it's absolutely excellent morning from FE Sussex point of view. We fully support it and would like to play whatever part's appropriate in moving ahead.
Thank you very much.